Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. When OpTic Texas made the controversial decision to move Rambo to the sidelines and double down on how Dashy wants Call of Duty to be played, there were questions: could they keep up their performances in the long term? Could they maintain the consistency and the discipline that might come from having a coach like Rambo? JP, their new coach analyst, deserves a lot of credit for his performances, but Karma, who knows a thing or two about winning Call of Duty matches, says, hey, how about getting me involved from time to time? And Shotzzy seems relatively down to potentially get Karma back into the fray. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate a couple of interesting spots to mention for you guys. Firstly, this one here on aBeZy. Haven't seen this before, don't know how relevant this is at all, but there's a spot here from Proto where if you lay down specifically here, I don't know how Shotzzy find these things, but he just goes in the ground, and I don't know like how useful this is at all, but it's kind of an interesting idea. One thing that's maybe slightly more useful, just wanted to note it. I noticed this last night, I thought it was kind of interesting. So the spot that Octane is up on, you guys know that on your offensive side on Mikado Search and Destroy, teams often will push up through this building, get the bomb down, and then they'll hop on this wall, and you can do this, it gives you a quick out of bounds thing, but you can get on the wall by jumping on top of like, I think there's the bench there, and then you've got the umbrella on top of it. If you jump on that, you can get on this wall, and you can see over towards the hedge, and you can like cut off the rotations or go for a jump spot, all this type of stuff. Now, I've never really seen, maybe this is more common than I remembered, but I've never really seen it used the other way. So Octane here jumps on it. It must be kind of difficult to see through the whole out of bounds thing, but I think he gets away with it and gets the kill on Ghosty. But he jumps on this to get an angle into the second top window here to kill Ghosty. So I thought it was an interesting idea. I haven't really seen teams use that before. Maybe it's more common than I remembered. But someone using it in hardpoint to break this point, I thought was a pretty interesting idea that Octane has either come up with or they've just decided to use, or maybe they've been using it for some time. Quick update as well, because last night we talked about TJ Halley being the only player to have 10 plus series wins on 4 different franchises. Turns out that SlasheR has also done this, which I guess is fair enough, because he was on OGLA as well, LA Thieves as well, and now LAG and FaZe. So, obviously they've all got 10 plus wins. So SlasheR and TJ probably the only 2 players to have achieved that, both of course on OGLA and Los Angeles Thieves, which is quite an interesting turn of events. Speaking of SlasheR, wanted to comment on the double down here the other day, the drama, right, between Drazah, Cellium ages ago, the stair glitching, and we saw this clip that came out from Shotzzy. I shared it a couple of days ago now, where Shotzzy revealed there's a new glitch in the game where you can kind of like squat into the floor. If you move into a head glitch and you go left and right, you can make your character sink into the floor, and it gives you an even nastier head glitch than you'd naturally be able to achieve. Now, of course, again, fundamentally, this is something the developers should be fixing, but they don't, and therefore players are going to abuse it. Now, this is seemingly what Cellium did over towards the Godheady stairs or whatever, where he killed Drazah. Drazah thought he was stair glitching. He wasn't stair glitching, but he was using this whole like sink glitch to give him a nastier head glitch than he should typically have had. So SlasheR commented at the time and said, look, it's just a head glitch. There's nothing special about this. I don't know why he's complaining so much. And Clay says, look, just saw these tweets. You can't say the sink down cheese is just a head glitch. Makes your legs clip halfway through the ground. So Clay was trying to explain to SlasheR exactly what had gone on here. And, SlasheR says he's holding dark on Mikado. Could be 10 shots deep and get that kill. Like, how can you explain in the clip it was so obvious? I see him crouched on an L trigger. So kind of funny that SlasheR's explanation is like, well, he's going to get that kill anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So Clay's trying to explain it. I don't know, you understand exactly what this is. You sink into the ground. It's 100% a clipping glitch. It gives you an abnormally lower head glitch than normal. Brother, glitch is in the word head glitch. I know it's a glitch, but can someone explain to me how he's cheating? Because that's what he's getting accused of. Or are we saying that Godheadies that have been around forever are BS? So kind of an interesting discussion, really, because SlasheR's saying that, well, it doesn't really matter that he's doing the sink down cheese glitch because it's a godlike head glitch anyway, and he's probably going to get the kill regardless. Whereas maybe the argument is you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. It's quite the discussion because, like, head glitches, it's just a natural feature of Call of Duty, or even, like, Counter-Strike has head glitches, because the way the game works is that the bullets come out of your eyes. You have the weapon down here, but when you fire, the bullets come out of your head, because that's the only thing that makes sense from a camera angle perspective. So you can stand behind a head glitch, your gun can technically not be visible over it, but you can still shoot the guy, and that's just how it's been in other games as well. Now, the issue is, I think that what Clay's getting at is that there's certain head glitches and power positions that shouldn't be full head glitches, that maybe cover you up to your, like, upper chest, where they've got a better chance of killing you, but if you do the sink down cheese, you can make that spot into an absurdly good head glitch, which maybe shouldn't be allowed, right? Because if the map is being designed in such a way to, okay, that's a power position, but it's not a ridiculous head glitch, but then players are abusing game glitches to make it so, then there's some questions there, right? SlasheR says, look, it's never never changed. All exploits should be fixed. My stance is simple. But then he says that people are screaming cheater at Cellium, who didn't actually cheat in this case, but their favorite player deliberately cheats. He's talking about the aDeZy stuff with Drazah. Then it's funny or okay. COD community lol. And then he goes on to say in replies to Enable that, I mean, look, this is BS. There's no argument. These cheese exploits shouldn't be a thing, but he still reckons that, yeah, it's defending Cellium for what people were calling cheating. And there's an argument whether that's the case or whether it's not. It's an interesting debate, to be honest. It does feel like SlasheR's opinion has changed somewhat since he joined FaZe, I will admit. But on the other side of things, I wonder if, let's say Clay was on FaZe and SlasheR was on Vegas or another team and they were having this debate. I'm sure that Clay and SlasheR could be in the entirely opposite opinion had they been on a different team with different perspectives, right? So I can imagine an argument in which Clay and SlasheR also have the same argument, but from the other side, if the roles were reversed. So intrigued to your perspective in the comment section below. Also, just a quick update for you guys. So Cellium's burner here, so not Octane's burner, but Cellium's burner came out and managed to find iLLeY's comment in the chat, which are as follows. This was Cellium's chat where iLLeY was present, and I was trying to find out exactly what he said. So he hadn't commented in Cellium's chat for like several years, it seems, until pretty much yesterday, 2023, where he says, you know, like, I'm back, basically. So kind of implying that the iLLeY streams are going to return relatively soon. Hopefully that's the case, of course. There were also some questions. I think this was probably tweeted after map 1 of the Toronto series, which FaZe lost, and then they went on to win 3-1. But, you know, the idea of iLLeY, given the fact that he kind of came up with Cellium and Simp, and when iLLeY came on the scene, there was so much expectation for him, because we'd seen what Simp had done in Black Ops 4, we'd seen what Cellium had done towards the end of Black Ops 4, and we thought, damn, okay, iLLeY's going to come on and be a superstar. He was never a superstar like SlayerR, but iLLeY, of course, in his first year won the World Championship and was a crucial reason as to why. So there has been some questions. Could iLLeY to FaZe be a thing instead of SlasheR? Like, I think SlasheR gets disrespected heavy, to be honest, by this community, and I think he still does. But, you know, it's an interesting one, right? Depends how the rest of the season goes, but iLLeY's going to try and get somewhere, and I imagine iLLeY's, you know, FaZe would be his first choice if he could go to somewhere, but seems a little bit unlikely that's going to be the case. Now, speaking of the OpTic stuff, we saw the other day that JP getting a lot of credit from the team, and for good reason, but Karma mentioned a Shotzzy. Of course, Karma, 3-time world champion, the only one to have done it all on LAN so far. Maybe, you know, someone else can catch him in the future. But Karma, we know he knows Call of Duty like the back of his hand, and even that if he hasn't played for some time, the guy can still fry and play at a high level, I'm sure. Like, Karma could, I think, definitely improve some of the league teams right now, despite the fact that he's not played Call of Duty in years. That's just how good this guy is. Great mind for the game, and clearly wants to be involved to some degree in this OpTic camp. He mentions to Shotzzy the other day, asks him, can I coach your team, please? Give me $5, I'll go in your scrims, and I'll just give some thoughts. I think this would be a really interesting idea for OpTic, because they've got legends on their franchise, right? Of course, you know, Scump and Methods, and Karma's there as well. Having those guys, at least Karma, given he wants to, help in some regard, even if it's small, with their preparation, might be additionally beneficial. We know that the whole Rambo thing wasn't working out with Dashy. We know that whatever JP's doing right now seems to be working perfectly well for these guys, not putting them on a leash as maybe Rambo was with Dashy's playstyle, or like even Attach said that he was with the coaches at the Minnesota Rokkr. Seems like JP's got a great balance of that and exactly what he's doing with the roster right now. But bringing someone else in like Karma to give their thoughts still should be beneficial, right?
Yo, Ant.
Yo, what's up, Damon?
Throw me 5 and let me watch some scrims tomorrow. I'm bored, bro.
Throw me 5?
bro.
What does that mean?
Like a 5. Like a $5 bill.
I like that.
What you gonna do with a $5 bill?
What do you
I
mean?
don't know.
Something.
Sniff it.
So
Sniff
you're saying you're gonna give him, you're gonna coach him, Damon, for $5.
You want? Yeah, I'll give you our T-Swig if you actually want to join. You want to see some slammage?
I would love to
see some slam.
Wait, who you guys scrimming tomorrow? Damon will be in there like, dude, this
I
guy's
have
not
no idea.
even rotating. They dropped this guy for him? What the f? I should come back and play. Wait, who are you guys scrimming? Who's on that team again?
Yeah. That would probably happen. Who's this again?
Yeah. Wait, what the f? Trey's not on the roster anymore?
Yo, Damon, that's like 5 months ago, dude.
Nah, if you're actually down, I'll send you the shit then.
Throw
better pop
money
up,
in a
Damon.
spiral.
Huh?
I said you better pop up.
I probably would. I'm so bored. Every game is boring to play right now. Like, I'm gonna have to go play Apex.
Come
I'm
on,
so
Doug,
bored.
show me something, dude.
So even if this was on a kind of a consultancy basis where Karma occasionally comes into scrims, maybe once a week, and just gives his thoughts to JP and the guys on what he noticed, what he thinks, maybe Karma could just join their search and destroy practice. Karma isn't going to be a guy that's getting up at, 8 every day to turn up, get the boys there on time, get their nutrition in and all this. Karma's going to have, if he's going to do it, it's going to be on a more consultancy basis where Karma, when he's bored, when he doesn't, feels like he should do something, just turn up to the OpTic scrims, watch how they're playing, and, Karma could just make a few notes, give it to the guys. And that's the thing with Karma, right? We know that Dashy and Rambo, the respect wasn't really there. JP, I know that Ghosty calls him the GOAT cheer, which is high praise the other way around. We talked about this tweet from JP's perspective earlier today, and we know that JP was the analyst for this team. Of course, he's had to, I'm sure, adjust his role slightly to be slightly more of a coach for these guys. But whatever he's doing is working very well, and whether they consider him to be their coach, whether they consider him just to be the analyst or the additional guy helping with their team, doesn't matter when the team's playing as it presently is. And obviously they've got respect for what he's presently doing, and that's the issue that coaches have, especially coaches that were former players that might not have achieved too much in their careers, players that are incredibly talented playing today and also play this current game, whereas, guys like Rambo, the last game they played competitively was a long time ago. Not saying that Rambo doesn't understand this game, I think that he does, but a player on this level to respect your opinion is going to be quite challenging, I think, if that's the case. So Karma, though, 3-time world champ, always has the respect. Like Karma, there's no team in the league that wouldn't respect Karma's opinion if he gave it on a situation. And given that OpTic have that resource as part of their organization, and Karma is willing to do that from time to time, it might be something that helps them, right? Because we know their search and destroy and their control, their hardpoint is ridiculously good, but their search and their control, there are still some weaknesses there. And I'm sure that Karma could watch a few of their matches, watch a few of their scrims, write down a few notes, and it would probably help move the lever in the right direction. So it's an interesting idea. Karma not becoming a full-time coach or anything, I think that's not a good idea for all parties. But given the tenure of former players that OpTic have as part of their franchise, it feels a bit of a waste not to deploy that, given that Karma is willing. So enjoy your thoughts in the comments below. Speaking of like a coach-level player, Accuracy is on the Seattle Surge. Has not been just playing like their, future coach, but has been playing like a fantastic AR for the team right now. He is leading the slaying for the team in Stage 4. Slightly strange as well. Most engagements on the team. Sib on an individual level hasn't quite been the same player the last stage and a half. Sib at the start of the year was phenomenal, right up there with Pred. Stage 1 might have actually been marginally better than Pred, I thought, but since then, Pred has been very good. Their best player, obviously. But Accuracy has been picking up the slack from Sib, and it's quite interesting with Sib because obviously there was all this talk, okay, Sib and Pred to OpTic, what's going to happen there? But now it's quite clear that that's not going to be happening with OpTic because I'm sure Ghosty is going to stay on present evidence, and Sib isn't showing to be that guy anyway. So fair play to Accuracy, playing really well. Great to see, I thought. And just to close out the video here with this one from the Breakdown podcast, they come up with their team of the week. I know they try not to be biased here, right, in favor of OpTic, and in fairness, they did this on, the 8th of April or up to the 8th of April, so it's a bit tricky for them because they run this show right after the matches ends, which means that they can't really adjust the team of the week for that final game. But that OpTic versus Thieves game was quite critical, I think, in terms of determining the team of the week, because Huke was going to be here anyway, and he did well. As you guys can see here, these are the stats through to the 8th, because they had to prepare this in advance, but it does mean that Envoy was appearing here, and Envoy did great earlier in the week, but he got fried against OpTic, right, which kind of puts a little bit of a downer on the team of the week, because Envoy can't really be in the team of the week the way that things went out against OpTic, I thought, despite the fact that he was going up to that point. So, bit of a question mark. Huke is here, I think, understandably. Cellium is here, understandably. Octane, I thought, was phenomenal this week as well. I'd probably have got someone else instead of Envoy. But enjoy to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Hold on, let me get in character.
Yo! Salakama! What are you doing? She's coming right now! You must get down! Get down now! Oh!
Very good.
The Terminator! He's coming now!
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. I am, bro. As you were doing that, I could not believe that those noises were coming out of your mouth.
Holy! You hear Chewbacca? Wait. Wait. Wait, dude, where is it? Where the? Where is he, man? Oh, that's good.
You're doing Arnold as Chewbacca.